can you please don't forget to support me by subscribing. It really means a lot to me if you subscribe and if you like my content. It's chapter 14. I'm going to analyze both the synopsis and the themes in the chapter. So watch to the end of this video to learn the two. The synopsis. As the chapter begins, the committee reconvenes. Earlier on, they had taken a break, and now they're coming back to continue with their discussion. And two themes hang in the air. One, we have hope, and we have fear. We begin the first one. The heads of state hoped that the committee they had formed had come up with a method to choose between Way Omega and Path Alpha, and they feared that their pick of the committee leader might have killed their prospect before it was even born. And who is this committee leader? Yeah, His Excellency President Didier Bongura. And this is because he had said that he had not read the two documents, Path Alpha and Way Omega, and he is not going to read the two documents. So they wondered how was he going to perform his task. How was he going to aid them to choose the two documents? But remember, they knew that before, but they proceeded and selected or picked him to be the leader of the committee. The committee had three people. We know now the leader is Didier Bongura. Who are the other committee members? The other thing that happened, there was a change in the city. President Bongura took the position of Minister Zindo at the dais. There were three new observers at the summit, and that is Mr. Manley, Nick Sentinel, and Fiona Mackenzie. You can relate this to how chapter 13 ended. President Bongura was given that opportunity to give his speech. He informed the heads of state that the committee had come up with a method to choose between the two documents. The method was termed the choice matrix. After explaining what it entails, Minister Zinto was totally against it, and he considered it as total nonsense, but then he was shushed by the chair. At the end of this chapter, we see Path Alpha wins, and the summit is declared closed by the chair. There resulted a conflict between President Dibonzo and the summit chair, and President Dibonzo considered the method, the choice matrix, total madness, and he pointed a gun at the summit's chair. But then the chair pressed an emergency button and armed entered the room. But then we have President Dibonzo escapes through an emergency door. And as the chapter ends, Dr. Abiola Afolabi and his crew celebrates their success. Something again happened. Fiona Mackenzie and Dr. Afolabi were holding hands. The two guys or the two people fall in love, or they're in love. We have several themes in the chapter, and the one is the theme of hope. And the committee hoped that the committee they had formed had come up with a method to choose between Way Omega and Path Alpha. Page 173. The first paragraph. Hope and fear hung in the air in equal measures. Yes, all heads of state hoped. The method committee that they had formed the previous evening had done its work and found a method they could use to choose between Way Omega and Path Alpha. That is hope. At the same time, they feared. The same page we have the theme of fear. And still, they feared that their pick of the committee leader might have killed this prospect even before he was born. President Bongura, who had not read the two documents, and he declared he is not going to read the two documents, but yet he was chosen to be the committee leader. We have change, we had mentioned it, the change in the seating arrangement. Didier Bongura, Minister Zinto's seat at the dais, And in addition to that, we have 3 new observers: Nick Sentinel, Fiona Mackenzie, and Mr. Manley. So, paragraph 3. A change of seating had occurred at the dais. Minister Zinto moved a place so President Bongura, as chair of the committee method, could sit immediately to the right of the chair of the summit. And then the last paragraph, among the observers in the back row were 3 new persons: Mr. Manley, chief of the local VOA bureau, Mackenzie, and the VOA youth, Nick Sentinel. We have the poor governance. I'll term it as poor governance or inefficiency. President Bongura declared that he has said that he had not read the 2 documents and he is not going to read the 2 documents. But you can see the heads of states are inefficient, and they proceeded to select him or to pick him to be the committee leader. Page 173, again the second paragraph. President Bongura, after all, had told them he had not read and would never read the documents. He had to have read or would have to read if he was to properly perform the task which they had charged him. A man like that wasn't all a choice they should have made, but then they made that choice. And lastly, we have the conflicts. It's between President Dibonzo and the summit chair. He considered the method, the choice matrix, as total madness, and he pointed a gun at the chair. But then, luckily enough, he pressed the emergency button. Armed guards came in, but he managed to escape through an emergency door. That is conflicts. Page 183. The second paragraph. President Dibonzo sprang to his feet at once. Mr. Chairman, don't insult our intelligence with rubbish. His voice was grating on all ears with tons of rage. What rubbish are you referring to, President Dibonzo? Asked the chair. He was rising to the challenge. The choice matrix. Do you really expect us to buy into that madness? Can't you see that some of us are not senile? We reject the choice matrix. Lock, stock, and barrel. I say the summit stands closed, insisted the chair. Bang, bang. And I say it is open, retorted President Dibonzo. But President Dibonzo, you do not have the power to do so. Who says I do not have the power to do so? See this? He pulled out a pistol, pocket size. The other heads of state scrambled to hide under their desks. President Dibonzo, put that thing away, demanded the chair. Make me, retorted President Dibonzo. The pistol clicked. He was ready to start spitting fire at the chair. Hey, I told you to put that thing away, and I told you to make me put it away. The small gun stayed. Alright, watch me. The chairperson pressed a panic button hidden under his desk, and then the guards, they came in, and he escaped. And lastly, could we call this love? Love. The last paragraph of page 184. Dr. Afolabi and Miss Mackenzie were already leaving. He reached for her hand and asked, "So, what did you think?" She received his hands in hers and asked back, "So, what did I think about what?" So we can say to some extent the theme of love between Fiona Mackenzie and Dr. Abiola Afolabi. So guys, that is the end of our chapter. The book now is completely finished, or finished completely, yes. And yeah, let's catch up next year. By the way, next year for the general analysis. Thank you so much for being my YouTube family. I love you. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance.